Hey, you can admit it. How many of you want to hit the SOL panic button after the week 3 loss to the Minnesota Vikings? I think a lot of us were tempted to hit that panic button, but what I'm feeling is completely different than a panic button. I am feeling legitimate frustration. I'm feeling legitimate almost sadness. Like it's just down. And I had a church function right after this game last night. And I was like, oh, I don't want to go to this thing because everybody's going to talk about the Lions. Everybody's going to talk about same old Lions, how they blew it. And I'm here to put a video out there for all of you to say, I know that we want to desperately panic. We want to SOL these Lions, same old Lions. But I'm going to give you 2 reasons in this video why you should not do that. Keep with this team. And I'm going to start by talking about the game that we just watched and kind of some of the things, but I want to actually look at the numbers. Sometimes you just got to look at the numbers, right? So in this game, I know it hurts. You see 24-28, it hurts. It's terrible. But here's a couple things that I want you to look at that I want you to understand are a good thing. For starters, not only did we outgain them in the air, but we were better efficiency wise. Jared Goff played a good football game. His only turnover, his only interception happened at it was a very last Hail Mary where he was being pressured. Kirk Cousins did not have a great day against us. We were playing well. We also outgained them on the ground with Swift being very much injured. Jamal Williams was a bell cow back and somehow had a game that was pretty similar to Cook, even though it seemed Cook was going to be a lot better. So we outgained him in the air. We outgained him on the ground. Look at the spread. Both teams had a good spread of wide receivers that they gave the ball to until the very end. We were winning the turnover battle as well. So, and that was just the last second, like I said, Hail Mary. Like it's not something that we need to be looking at. So when we look at the stats of this game, this is reason number 1. We still played a good game. This wasn't the close game that the Lions almost win when they're getting dominated. When the other team is just going up and down the field, throwing the ball over the place. And then when they get lackadaisical, the Lions come back. Even though the stats are completely uneven, we get outgained by 100, 150 yards, but somehow manage to play within a touchdown or a field goal or something like that and almost have a chance. So I don't want you guys to think like this is the exact same thing. This was a wire to wire lead. We were ahead the entirety of the game until the very end. Okay, so this isn't one of these things. And I'm going to get to the second one real quick because I don't want to do a super long video and I don't want you guys to leave before I get to number 2. And the number 2 reason is the upcoming schedule. The upcoming schedule, even though we have a ton of injuries, and I know this is a horrible visual prop because it's like, oh, you get 2 games. But here's what I want to talk about. So you're coming off this game where you played well, right? You played well. I'm going to hold this for a second. You're coming off this game where you played pretty well, but everybody and their cousin and friend and family member got hurt. We had 7 of our 21 players that were either out or playing extremely injured in that game. I had another video where I talked about it. It was so frustrating. You can go down the line, whether it's Jonah Jackson, Vaitai, Swift was hurt. Amon-Ra St. Brown was playing on 1.5 legs. Josh Reynolds got friendly fired. I don't think he ever came back in the game. Hutch never looked like Hutch. I'm glad he played because he's a gamer, but he never looked like Hutch. You have Tracy Walker go down, another torn Achilles. Are you kidding me? Right? So we have all these injuries and we just didn't have enough firepower to finish it. And I know so many of us want to be so mad and be like, Ben Johnson, what are you doing? You keep calling the same run play. What else are you going to do? Like there's nobody out there. The last time he called a pass play at the end of the game, Khalif Raymond and Josh Reynolds ran into each other because they're never on the field at the same time so far this year. And we got an injury. Like there has to be somewhat of an understanding that you're not playing with a full deck here when you have all these injured players. So that is why the schedule suits up nicely for us. We're 1-2, but we have Seattle coming into town. We have Seattle coming into town, and my hope is that that team's bad enough, right, that you get to 2-2, even if you have some injuries. Let's just get some of those guys back. Let's hope Amon-Ra St. Brown can get back into a somewhat healthy form. I don't think we're going to see Swift. That's just me and what I believe. But let's hope Hutchinson another week does his body good. And let's get a couple of guys healthy. Let's play the Seahawks. Let's get a win. Then you go to New England. I don't know, weird revenge game because a bunch of these guys don't like Patricia, but at the same time, it's like maybe they win, maybe they don't. So then you are either 2-3 or 3-2, and you are heading into there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the bye week. When this schedule came out, was so frustrated because I'm like, oh, here we go again. The Lions have another early bye week. Like, of course, that's what's going to happen. The schedule makers don't like us. You want a bye week mid to later in the year so you can get that good rest before you make the playoff push. But with the extreme rash of injuries that we have on this team, this bye week can't come soon enough. I don't know if bye week start in the 6th week or the 5th week, but I'd want a week 5 bye because we need time to rest these guys. I want Hutch back, not just playing, but playing at full strength. I want Swift playing not in a limited capacity, but being DeAndre Swift, right? You want St. Brown not hobbling around, but you want him to be at full strength. Like, it's a broken record. We have a ton of injuries. So we have a couple of winnable games. And by the way, that Patriots game, Mac Jones now has a high ankle sprain. They're classifying it as a high ankle sprain. They thought there was some ligament damage at first. So that's 2 weeks away. I don't see him playing. And if he does, he is extremely hobbled. That is a winnable game. So even with these injuries, we could beat Seattle at home, go and beat New England. No weather struggles there. It's fine. It's October, right? Foxborough's not going to be that cold. Like, what if we're 3-2 heading into the bye and we get healthy? And then we get to come back from the bye and we are a healthy team and we get to start making a run. Like, people, it's 3 games. Don't hit the panic button. You can be frustrated. You can absolutely be frustrated, but don't hit the panic button yet. And then remember what we said at the beginning of the year. Not just me, not just Chris, but I think a lot of you, hopefully. We all predicted 8-9 wins. I think everybody was predicting somewhere between 7 and 10, but we also all thought a successful season was 6-7 wins. And we're still on pace to get that. We're still on pace to go 5-10, 6-11-ish, right? Like, we're still right there. This team is improving. We didn't think we'd win the Super Bowl this year. Don't hit the panic button. We've had 3 games. We played an Eagles team real close, and they have just gone out and dominated since us. They destroyed the Vikings. They destroyed the Commanders. We beat the Commanders soundly. And we would have beaten the Vikings soundly had we stayed healthy. I am confident of that. There's no way they get a last-second comeback like that if St. Brown's healthy, if Swift is healthy, if Reynolds is healthy, if Hutch is healthy, if Tracy Walker doesn't tear his Achilles. I'm telling you, if Amani Oruwariye doesn't have 87 penalties, guys, don't hit the panic button. Hang here with it. Keep watching the channel. Hit that subscribe button below. Leave your comment. Are you panicking? Don't panic. All right. Maybe it can be like a little, support group for you guys down there where we're all talking about, I'm nervous. It's okay. Don't be nervous. But I'm nervous. Don't be nervous. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm going to end the video. Have a great one.